Welcome everyone to Renewable Mind. My name is Damien, and as the channel name suggests, here at Renewable Mind, this is going to be a channel dedicated to those who are on a personal growth journey, both mentally and spiritually, and even physically. Renewable Mind is about creating content for those who are looking to improve their mindset, who perhaps want to start healthy habits but not sure where to start, for those who want to become emotionally aware and understand the value that can bring to your life, and also those who want to relate to someone making content about this kind of thing on a more day-to-day level. I understand that even myself, as someone who consumes content and has been doing so, consuming content about healthy mindset and healthy habits for the past 10, 15 years, whether it be reading, whether it be watching, or whether it be listening to podcasts, sometimes when doing this, it can be harder to digest when you're taking it from someone who just seems, I guess, levels above you. Now, I by no means am an expert. Obviously, I myself have been learning about this. I've always been someone who is naturally inclined to personal growth, understanding more about myself as a person and how that can improve my life. But what sort of started in me making this content, and what I want to talk about in this introductory video today, is more about my own journey, where I'm at in life, and how this sort of channel came about. Now, I am in my mid to late 30s at the moment. I am a single guy living in Australia. Life has taken me on a whirlwind journey, almost from start to finish. We all have our backstories. We all have things that create us who we are. But what is important when you become emotionally aware is you don't have to be stuck, even at no matter age you are, whether you're 17, whether you're 27, whether you're 37, whether you're 67. Life is never fixed. Life in general works in ebbs and flows. And I think that's why it's very important to stay connected with yourself, to be trying to improve yourself in all aspects of life, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, because those areas, if you concentrate on those, if you improve those, it adds up over time, and it'll improve your life. It'll improve how you experience life in every aspect. And I think that's very important for people to understand. I understand that there is a lot of content creators, and as I was saying, I've consumed a lot of this content myself. I've learned things myself that I'm obviously open and willing to share with you all, but also too, I'm on my own journey. So I thought what the main focus of this channel would be is it's going to be about improvement of mindset. Now, I know that sounds very cliche, and I also understand as YouTube algorithm works, no one's really going to be watching this video, but I thought I would take the opportunity, at least for me to get started, is sort of talk about what this channel is going to be about moving forward. Now, when I say improvement of mindset, what does that mean? It sounds very cliche, but it's going to be very specific into tips and tricks. You're going to learn things about dopamine. You're going to learn about things about serotonin. You're going to learn about the everyday factors that build up in an average person's life. As I said, I'm just an average guy in my 30s, and I hope that with the way I can explain things, the way I can explain my own journey, is not only going to keep me self-accountable, it's not only going to document my own journey from my own personal experience, but it's also going to be relatable, because that's what I was mentioning before, is when you consume this content, sometimes the people seem to be, or at least appear to be, levels above everyone. Now, for those of you who are already on this journey, you would understand that it's never linear, it's never fixed. As I said, you can improve every aspect of your life, no matter where you are. You could be a professor of psychology, and there's always something new to learn every day, and that's what life is all about. And I think one of the most important things to do that, as I said, is improving mindset. As much as that sounds very generalized, there are a lot of things. There are very, very small everyday decisions, mistakes that people may get wrong, including myself. And that's where I all think that as a community, we can learn from each other. Emotional awareness is something that I've always been very mindful of since I can remember. I'm very introspective when it comes to my own thoughts, the way that I think, analyzing the way that I see things, and how that then in turn makes me come across not only to other people, but also affects my day-to-day life. So I think being emotionally aware is very, very important. And of course, with any improvement, there are areas where you can work on. There are things you can implement that is going to improve that. Learning new healthy habits, another thing that sounds very cliche, sounds very generalized, but they are like that for a reason, because healthy habits start at the moment that your eyes open in the morning. Whether it's when your alarm clock goes off, maybe you have a less structured schedule, which some people do better in those sorts of environments. And that's where it's very individualized what those healthy habits could be for you. But as I said, once again, as a everyday type person who is on this journey, I can see the benefit for not only myself in documenting this, not only in sharing my learnings, it's also going to help me implement those learnings, but it's also hopefully going to help some of you out there as well. So healthy habits, from things like journaling, reading, swapping screen time. This is one thing that, if I could speak of any healthy habit that I'm trying to do at the moment, it is limit. I'm a YouTube fiend in terms of, I don't really watch much mainstream media anymore. It's basically YouTube, a little bit of Netflix, not much Netflix. I'm not big on Netflix in general, but I still do watch it from time to time. But YouTube is basically the platform that I consume the most when it comes to screen time. And even so, that can be very beneficial, but also too, I think reading is very, very underrated. Those of you who do read will understand the power of reading, but swapping screen time for reading is something that I'm concentrating on at the moment, and I'll speak about that in a later video. I mentioned this before, documenting my own journey is something that I'm very excited to do from a selfish point of view, because if I can make content sort of reanalyzing the things that I'm learning day to day that are going to improve my own life, that's only going to make it more reinforced. It's only going to make a positive impact for me. And as I said, I hope that that can also make a positive impact for you. I hope to think that I'm a very relatable person, and I'm very excited to be sharing my journey, not only from my own point of view, but also learning from you out there as well, and learning about your day-to-day issues, because life is full of them. It's going to keep me self-accountable too. So this is one thing I've also struggled with, is focusing on an area. Now I'm going to talk about focus, talk about how dopamine plays a major, major part in our focus today, and why the attention spans, it's no secret, obviously, with social media, these devices that we hold in our hand every day, people's attention spans are becoming absolutely shorter by the day. And of course, don't need to be a professor to tell you that that is not a good thing, because that is so far removed from humans where we have been in the past, and why it's such a struggle with the adjustment of today. So making these videos is going to keep me self-accountable as well, and it's going to keep me on the self-improvement path, which is, as I said, not only good for myself, but hopefully good for some of you out there as well. As I learn, hopefully you guys learn as well. Now, the last point that I want to make, the focus of this channel, is just being relatable. I've mentioned it a few times now in this little introductory video, but being relatable to an everyday person is hopefully going to be beneficial for you guys too, because I'm going to be the first here to sit here and put up my hand and say that even though I may be making content about this, I'm also learning on the fly. So this is the best way to do it. I think if you come in with a master mindset, it's a very caged way to look at life. Life, as I said, is very unpredictable. I don't think that having a master mindset, pretending that I have the answers to all of everyday problems, is a way that I'm going to continue my growth and growing as an individual, both spiritually and mentally. And of course, even on the physical side, I think will only benefit me. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. This was just an introductory video. I'm well aware there's probably 2 people out there that are watching this right now, and especially if you've made it along this far. I very much appreciate it if you have. Please interact with me in the comments. You're going to be the first ever people to be part of the Renewable Mind community, and that's just something that's very special. It could be a very special feeling for me as well. As someone who is trying to build a new community out there, if you could get in the comments, let me know your experiences so far. Share anything that you may want to see from me moving in the future. As I said, a topic that you would like me to cover. Not only would I be learning about it myself and would be benefiting me, I very much hope that it would be benefiting you as well. So please feel free to say hello in the comments. Even if you just want to type hello, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching from. That would be very much appreciated. And the plan is moving forward will be 3 videos scheduled each and every single week covering a new topic. So once again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you again here next time at Renewable Mind.